Hi everyone. Welcome back to Wu Can Cook. My name is Wesley, and this is a show where we are slowly cooking our way through all of the food from my childhood. Today we're diving back into our series dedicated to foods from TV and film with a shot at the secret ingredient soup or Niu Rou Mian from Kung Fu Panda.
I think it's time I told you something I should have told you a long time ago. The secret ingredient of my secret ingredient soup. Oh. Come here. The secret ingredient is nothing.
Huh? Okay, so a few technicalities to address right off the bat before people lose their minds today. First, the soup that we're making today is a Taiwanese beef noodle soup known as Niu Rou Mian. I am well aware that Kung Fu Panda technically takes place in China, not Taiwan, but it also features a talking goose and a panda that does kung fu, so I'm gonna allow it. Second, and maybe more important, Mr. Ping's secret ingredient soup features a very light-colored broth, indicating to me that it's probably a vegetable stock. I imagine that this is because the alternative would be a soup made out of animal broth, which is pretty horrifying if you think about it in context. So, instead today we're going to make the closest thing that I can think of to a secret ingredient vegetable soup broth, which is going to be a tomato-based soup known as Niu Rou Mian. As you may have put together, a Niu Rou Mian is a soup of Taiwanese origin that prominently features beef shanks slow simmered with a combination of Chinese aromatic spices, chili paste, and Shaoxing wine to create a deeply rich and aromatic soup. To pair with this, a Niu Rou Mian also iconically features the use of secret ingredient thyme, whole tomato as the source of its acidity to yield its uniquely rich and acidic qualities. So, we'll be diving into exactly how to turn a can of tomatoes into a beef noodle soup, while also making use of some baby bok choy and thick lo mein noodles courtesy of Yun Hop here in Oakland, Chinatown to bring this all to life. Okay, so let's get into it.
These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel.
Alright, so kicking things off here first with the vegetables of our Niu Rou Mian. Up first here are our aromatics. This is 4 cloves of crushed and minced garlic to start, followed by 1 inch or about 1 tablespoon of fine minced ginger to pair. These will be heading into our wok with our beef later on as we start building out layers of umami. Next up, as promised, is our baby bok choy. These are fairly small already, so I'm just slicing these into halves before giving them a quick rinse and setting aside. As with our noodles, we'll be par cooking both of these in a quick boil, then adding them to our soup at the very end to make sure that they don't end up overcooked or wilted. Moving on with our veggies, this is half of a medium white onion that I'm dicing up, as always, with the root end still attached to aid in an even dice. We're going to be adding these along with a single 28-ounce can of whole peeled tomatoes fairly early on so that they essentially disintegrate into the soup. Unlike a wok fry or curry, I pretty much just want both of these to disappear into our soup over the duration of our slow simmer coming up. As always with tomatoes, if it happens to be the 14-day time period where a tomato is actually in season, I would definitely recommend using some fresh ones here. Otherwise, if not though, canned tomatoes are always going to work best in a context like this since they would have been picked and canned at their peak point of ripeness. Up next, we're moving on to what I guess you can refer to as the sauce element of our soup base today. This is going to be the source of the deeper and bolder qualities in our soup broth, most prominently focusing on our doubanjiang chili paste and Shaoxing wine. So, up here first is 4 tablespoons of soy sauce and an additional 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce to start. Then next, we're rounding out the sweeter qualities of our broth with 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and finally 2 tablespoons of chili crisp oil. Then finally, as promised, are maybe the 2 ingredients that must be present in a Niu Rou Mian. This is 2 tablespoons of doubanjiang and 4 tablespoons or 1/4 cup of Shaoxing wine to finish. Now, you might be wondering, is that a lot of Shaoxing wine? And yes, it is. But I also think that it's going to be one of the more iconic qualities of a Niu Rou Mian, so we're leaning pretty hard on it today. Moving on to our beef next, we've got quite a bit of fat cap to contend with here, so I'm starting off by trimming as much of this fat off as I possibly can before slicing these all up into bite-sized cubes. This fat is otherwise just going to render off into our soup, ultimately yielding an increasingly more oily broth, so we want to trim as much of this off as possible. To this end though, while you're at the butcher shop, you may also consider just asking for the cut with the least amount of fat on it too, since we are after all paying for this by the pound. Next up, moving on to our whole spices, in a separate bowl we're assembling the spices that are going to head into our spice pack with our broth. For the lazy, or if you just don't feel like keeping a pantry of random spices like I do, you can also just buy a Chinese 5-spice combination pack at the grocery store too, which will have all of these spices assembled together for you already. Otherwise, if not though, what we're using here are any or all of the spices that you might find in a Chinese 5-spice blend, which, as we have discussed before, is not necessarily limited to 5 spices. To my taste, the most prominent spices in a 5-spice blend are star anise, dried Tianjin peppers, Szechuan peppercorn, and cinnamon. Today I'm also going to round this out with a bit of coriander as well, but you may also consider using things like clove, fennel, ginger root, turmeric, nutmeg, cardamom, and many others, so feel free to get creative here. Over on the stove, I have my wok heating up over medium-low heat here. We're going to start off by dry toasting our spices for about 5 minutes to bloom out some of their aromatic qualities, then removing to some cheesecloth before setting aside to add to our slow simmer coming up. Moving on, next up I've got my wok heated up as hot as possible this time, then I'm adding 4 tablespoons of peanut oil and, as always, long yao for that nice non-stick surface. Then going in here first are my aromatic veggies. Here's my garlic and ginger going in for about 15 seconds until nice and fragrant, followed next by my onions for a brief 1 to 2 minute toss, just long enough to pick up a bit of smokiness. Then next, I'm removing this all from my wok, reheating, adding an additional 2 tablespoons of peanut oil, and doing a similar brief toss to my beef as well, once again to pick up as much smokiness as we can. Then here's my veggies going back into the wok, followed by my whole tomatoes. Now, a quick side note here on wok maintenance and care. Tomatoes are very acidic by their nature. This is exactly why we're using them in our soup today. This also means, however, that slow simmering them in a carbon steel wok will absolutely strip the patina off of your carbon steel, which is super not cool. For what it's worth, this isn't the end of the world. The patina returned to my wok after maybe 2 or 3 meals cooked in it, but for your own woks though, do yourself a favor and switch to a stainless steel stock pot or cast iron Dutch oven at this point. Okay, back to our Niu Rou Mian. We're moving on to our slow simmer here, so I'm starting off by adding my sauce element plus some beef stock. This is about a half teaspoon of powdered stock dissolved in water. I'm tossing this all to combine, then finally adding about 6 cups of water plus my spice bag, and letting my soup simmer here for a minimum of 2 hours, or however long you really want to. Ultimately for me, I ended up letting this simmer for a full 24 hours, which, if I'm being honest, this was the real secret ingredient. During this time though, we should start seeing the tomatoes and onions in our soup begin to break down, like so. Ooh. Once our soup is ready to go, which is to say once you decide you're ready to eat your soup, I'm setting it aside on a side burner for a moment and bringing a pot of water to boil so that we may par cook our noodles and bok choy. We're mainly doing this today so that we have some level of accuracy with which these 2 ingredients are cooked, since they are both so delicate. If you're like me and have always assumed that these noodles would be cooked in the broth itself, I'm here to tell you that don't do that. That's how you end up with overcooked noodles. So I'm boiling both of these for 2 minutes apiece before removing. Then I'm serving everything up with a healthy portion of our noodles to start, followed by my bok choy and some soup to finish, and we're ready to eat. Okay, so full disclosure, Niu Rou Mian is one of my absolute favorite Taiwanese dishes of all time, so there really is no version of this dish that we could have ended up with that I would not be stoked on. There's just something very inherently nostalgic and comforting about the smell of a bowl of Niu Rou Mian that immediately takes me back to my childhood. All this said, I will also mention that this is genuinely one of the best soups that I think I have ever created. It's bright and acidic from our Shaoxing wine and tomatoes, then bold and rich from our doubanjiang and dark soy sauce, and finally savory and aromatic from our toasted spices. As much as I do love quick meals that can be assembled in under 30 minutes, I also really do think that the 24-hour simmer to our secret ingredient soup today is the true secret ingredient. The magic of letting a pot simmer for 24 hours is truly not something that you can recreate with a quick dash of any particular ingredient, although to be fair, I imagine throwing this into an Instapot for 45 minutes might do the trick. I don't know. Okay, so that's it everyone. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you give this one a shot. For those who are new to the channel, this one is part of a larger series dedicated to foods from TV and film, so definitely check out that series next if you haven't yet because there's a lot of these. For the Bay Area locals, the Woo Can Cook Fried Rice Pop-Up is now at Wondrous Brewing every Thursday through Sunday, so come by and say hi then if you can. More about that at woocancook.com/eats. Also, in case you missed it, we've got t-shirts. I'm super excited to be partnering with my good friends at Pollywog Prints to make these super sweet Woo Can Cook shirts. They're super soft and comfortable and also have a picture of me on the back, which is crazy. We're selling these at the Woo Can Cook pop-up, or you can head over to woocancook.com/shop to grab one from the online store too. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share, be nice interneters, and I'll see you soon. Bye.